Finally finished. Time to play some Lord of the Rings. In Season 2, the biggest change in the server is that now you can choose between non-roleplay and roleplay. In non-roleplay, you can choose between a good faction or an evil faction. And even if you choose a good faction, you can still use an evil commander. So you will have more commander options in the non-roleplay mode. You will have more commanders for you to choose from, but only if you're lucky enough to lucky draw an opposite commander. But it might just be too hard for me. In non-role-playing mode, both good and evil commanders are available, no matter what faction you choose from. And from that comes a lot of new gameplay. One of the branches of the ring is now completely different from Season 1. It is set up for opposite commanders and controls the number of embassies, field barracks for opposite units. And of course, there will be bonuses for opposite construction times and hiring times too. You will find there is a new bonus, morale, which means that the opposite commander or unit will be affected and its ability will be reduced. But when this bonus is upgraded, the effects will also gradually reduce. If you don't use the opposite commander or the unit, then you can ignore this bonus directly. So now you can use good commanders to lead evil units, which may have some special effects. I'm sure you will have so much fun playing this game. There are 2 new buildings in Season 2, embassies and field barracks. Come on, let's take a look at how they look like. It's really quite nice to look at. What's special about these field barracks is that it's built outside the main city, and there are many kinds of different field barracks for different units, like the grunt lair, the scout lair, and the cave troll lair. In addition to the new buildings for opposite commanders or units, there are also some new cities in Season 2, namely Gundabad, built by the orcs, which is supposed to have a castle underneath ground, but we can't see it either. And also Mad Orto, built by Variags, a good ally of Sauron. 2 more cities that will produce more ring power and cause more wars, which sounds so exciting. There are also some new functions in Season 2, such as Speed March, which means that the commander can speed up to 100% faster, while the time reduction still depends on the commander's speed stats. This can reduce about 2/3 of the full march time. Some new units also appear in Season 2. The Tier 2 Hobbit Archer, the Tier 3 Dunlending Warrior, Bree Rider, the Great Beast, all of which will require you to occupy special land and all look like powerful characters. Oh, of course, except for the hobbits. Also, in Season 2, we can unlock each commander's unique equipment, but only if you reach Respect level 10. Well, I can't. I hope you guys can tell me what these new equipments are all about and what they look like. The most important change for the 3rd season is the 2 new evil factions, Gundabad and Variag. And the new cities added in the 2nd season are the 2 factions' capitals. It seems that in the 2nd season, the preparation for the new factions have already began. These new cities have been in Season 2, but we haven't heard anything about these new factions until the beginning of this Season 3. What a surprise! The 2 new factions will balance the forces of good and evil, each side with 6 factions. But by the way we are playing right now, it doesn't really matter whether you're on good or evil. Even if you're an evil faction, it doesn't affect anything if you ally with a good faction. However, with 2 more factions, war will become more intense.
Nice.
Other than the 2 new factions, there are also 3 new commanders in Season 3. 1 evil commander, Ladler. who used to be a king but later became one of the ringwraiths. A very powerful character, though I sadly really can't tell the difference or distinguish them all. The other two are new good commanders. Celeborn, excellent! The king of Lothlorien, who often appears in the movies. A very important role in the Lord of the Rings war. And another new commander is Círdan, a very powerful elf who doesn't appear in the Lord of the Rings movies. How can I introduce him? He's powerful, very powerful. And that's all. As for the three commanders' stats and skills, I will discuss it in a later video, so wait for the updates. After updating 4 units in Season 2, there will be 4 more new units in Season 3. They are the Tier 3 Keeper, Seafarer, and Wraith, as well as a Tier 4 Vanguard. They all look awesome, but I don't have any of them right now, so I can't talk about how awesome they really are in detail. Feel free to tell me how good they look and are. Let's see how their buildings look like. Oh wow, it's really cool, but it's just a bit small and not very clear to see. Overall, there are 2 new ways for gameplay in Season 3. We decided on 2 faction alliances in the chat before Season 3, and in Season 3, 2 faction alliances can show in the game, as you can see. The second is that you can upgrade the important cities. Just click on it, go in, and then you can upgrade it. The higher the level is, the more building bonus you can get. And even if you don't want to battle enemies, you can help your faction by being behind the battlefield and getting more bonuses.